A long-term mindset has so many benefits. I'm going to give you an example that is relevant to a lot of people that are listening to this that are interested in buying multifamily. A few months ago, I was on a podcast and I was asked a very powerful question. People said, Neil, how can anyone buy multifamily right now when, I'm looking to buy a $20 million building? Fannie and Freddie are forcing me to pay $1 million in impounds, which is basically your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. They're saying, give me 9 months of payments. I'm going to take them from you in advance. I'm going to hold on to them while you still pay your principal and interest, and then I'll give them back to you later when I think you're stable, right? So this is exactly what they're doing. And it's $1 million for a $20 million building, or maybe a little less. Maybe it's like $600,000-$700,000. So people came to me and said, but this really completely messes with our business model because now we have to raise $600,000-$700,000 more, and those people, we have to double their money, so we have to basically have $1.4 million in the deal. And they said, give us how would you potentially, get around this issue? And I suggested a solution which I think that left them gobsmacked, but if you think about it, it's actually a perfect solution. I said, if you're buying a $20 million building, a lot of you guys are charging a 3% acquisition fee. That's $600,000. And some of you are charging a 2% acquisition fee. That's $400,000. Until COVID ends and that these impounds go away, they're only temporary, right? Everybody knows that. They'll go away. Until it goes away, why don't you change your business model so you get your acquisition fee paid the very moment your building stabilizes? You're still getting the same fee. So you're not making $1 less, right? You're making the exact same amount. In fact, you could probably go from 2% to 3% because you're actually getting your fees later, right? You could bump up your fees, delayed gratification. But imagine the benefit to your property and to your investors. You're now raising $600,000 less in money. Everyone on every podcast says, I am very confident that within 6 to 9 months, I'll get that money back from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac because I'm going to stabilize my property and that's all I need to do. Okay, so if you're so cocky and so confident, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Just take your acquisition fee out of that inbound money that's coming in from Fannie Freddie. Now it costs your property nothing. And yes, that business model right now is messed up because of that money, but now you got around it. And what was interesting is I had 2 or 3 other panelists, and only one of them felt like that's something that they should do. That's because the mindset in our industry is not long-term. Even though when you think about it, apartments by their very nature are long-term play. You hold them for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. But a lot of syndicators that I see today are not looking at that long-term. I joined the company that I was talking about. I joined them in 1999, and I exited well after they were sold in 2013, right? So it's a 14-year mindset where we built this company. It wasn't a .com, it was a technology company, it was a brick and mortar. And that mindset of being a builder is missing in our culture right now, especially amongst younger syndicators. I see the older folks, they've got their heads screwed on right, but I see some of these young ones that are 30 years old, and they're so focused on that acquisition fee that I fear for what happens to these properties 2 or 3 or 4 years after purchase, when rents are, investors are up to 8%, but the syndicators are still not getting anything because all the cash flow has to go to the investors because of prefs. I feel like these properties are basically going to be abandoned with nobody managing them.